The Hindu push-up is the best exercise for combining upper body and core strength with whole body mobility. We'll get started with opening up the hamstrings for 60 seconds with the elephant stretch. Place your hands on your knees, straighten one knee and bend the other, feeling that stretch go all the way down the backside of that straight knee. I like to really twist the body and look towards that straight knee, and that will really open up that hamstring, but also it will start getting into some of the deep muscles inside your hip joints. The more you drop the chest, the more intense of a stretch it will be, but make sure to keep the back somewhat straight. We don't want to just round the entire back to get there because that's not addressing the hamstrings. And remember, we're just warming up. We're going to do a lot today, so there's no need to push this incredibly hard. And everything we do today, we want to make sure we connect to the breath. We want to keep our breathing calm, breathing into the belly, and using the nose instead of mouth as much as we can. Okay, that's the end of that set. Next, we're gonna go into a split position, one leg forward, one leg back for some rock backs. Drop the hips slightly and then try to lean your head as far back as you can. And then we'll switch sides each time. This stretch is perfect for opening up the whole front side of the body. You should feel a big hip flexor stretch in the front side of that back leg. And as you rock back more, you'll feel that stretch go all the way through the front side of the body, up even towards your neck. And what I love about this stretch is it's not just about flexibility. We're actually using a lot of strength here that can help us open up the body even more. Because if a muscle is tight but also weak, then just stretching it oftentimes won't actually give you more flexibility. We need to teach the muscle how to lengthen under load. And this is especially true for the hip flexors. If we're not sprinting regularly, which to be honest, most of us are not, then we're rarely using our hip flexors in this open position if you're just doing gym workouts. So that's why something like this can be so potent for anyone who wants better health, but isn't playing sports that demand their body to sprint regularly. Okay, we're just about done. So finish up your last rep here, and then we're going to transition to hands and knees for our first round of Hindu push-ups. And with this first one, we're not gonna do the full version. We're gonna keep our arms straight and move from a downward dog position where we try to lift the hips as high as we can in the air, and then drop the hips to the ground and look up to the sky. And each time we return to these fundamental positions, the downward dog or the cobra, we're trying to get a little bit deeper. Be sure to check in with your breath. We don't want our breath going up into our chest and neck. We want to be breathing deeply into the belly through the nose as much as possible. So that means in each deepest position, try to take a full breath. This will really solidify that position for you. And what I love about the Hindu push-up is it's not just about mobility. We're getting to learn how to use our shoulder blades properly and gaining strength in how to use them. Okay, we're coming up to the end here, so finish up your last rep and then go ahead and stand up. The next movement, we're going to go into a wide stance, like a horse stance, but not quite as deep. We're gonna sink the hips down, hands behind the head. We're going to laterally flex, meaning shorten one side of the body and lengthen the other. Look up at the sky and switch sides at your own pace. One thing we don't get enough of if we're just doing traditional exercise is moving side to side. So a lot of us are really stiff on our spine in our ability to side bend. So putting something like this into your program that you can do really regularly will really start to open up your spine mobility. And as you're doing this, you're probably realizing, wow, it's not just about the flexibility. This is actually pretty tough. So we're actually strengthening the obliques and the muscles around the spine to be able to handle this side bending. And to even go deeper into this stretch, you can try to turn on the obliques in the side you're bending towards, and that will actually get you much deeper because you're pulling yourself into the stretch. Okay, we're coming up to the end. Let's take a break. Take a breath, relax for a second, and we're going to return back to the floor for our next set of Hindu push-ups, where this time we'll explore the full version of the Hindu push-up, where we bend the elbows. We try to drop the chest towards the ground as we transition from our downward dog into our back bending cobra. But that doesn't mean that you have to go incredibly deep. I'm just using a little bit of elbow bend here, and you'll already start to feel the strength component of the Hindu push-up without pushing it incredibly far. And throughout this set, explore going a little bit deeper. But there's no rush. There's no gold star for having the deepest Hindu push-up. Remember the goal. We're trying to open up the body and strengthen as well, but we don't want that strength to be stacked on a bunch of tension. We want to be able to do these in a relaxed way so that our body knows that it's attainable and safe to do this movement. Okay, we're coming up at the end of the set, so go ahead and finish up your last rep. We'll take a break. When you're ready, we'll stand up and we'll get back in that wide stance position. And this time we're gonna do full horse stance squats. These are simple: feet wide, hips open, sink down with as vertical of a torso as you can, go as deep as you can, and stand back up. The focus here is opening the hips. So really try to make sure your knees are staying wide, and the more vertical your torso can be, the more you'll accentuate the hip opening. And what I love about the squat versus the hold is you give your legs a break so that each time you return back into your squat, you can focus on getting a little deeper without being fatigued. But just because it's not quite as fatiguing as a hold doesn't mean that it's not hard. You should feel your glutes and your quads and your groins working really hard each time you sit deep. Check in with your breath. Make sure you're not overly tensing. We want adequate tension, not over tension. So feel the tension in the hips and the groins, a little bit of tension in the core, but relax everything else. Okay, we're coming up to the end of time here, so finish up your last rep. Take a little break, shake it out. And when you're ready, we're gonna get back on the ground for our last set of Hindu push-ups. And with this last set, I want you to create an intention for yourself. Are you going for strength or are you going for mobility? If it's strength, then really try to go deeper in this transition from downward dog to cobra. And you can even explore now keeping the elbows bent, keeping the chest low on the way back out from cobra to downward dog. The strength required for this is immense. If it's mobility, then don't worry so much about how deep you're going. Focus more on trying to push for more range of motion in your downward dog and your cobra, and maybe you spend an extra second or two in each of those positions, allowing yourself to take a full deep breath in and out. I just want to say thanks for joining today. This is a new channel, so be sure to subscribe if you're liking the follow-alongs so you can see the new ones as they come out. All right. Let's finish up this last set of Hindu push-ups. And we've got one last exercise. Go ahead and stand up, and no Hindu push-up routine would be complete without doing some Hindu squats. So the Hindu squat is simply a bodyweight squat where we intentionally come up on the toes, allowing the heels to come up off the ground. I like to reach towards the ground as a marker. You don't have to, but do a deep knee bend and stand up after each rep. The more you try to keep your torso vertical, the more load you'll put into your ankles, your knees, and your quads. Our fascination with the heels down squat is really appropriate. The heels down squat is really good for strength and it can be good for hip mobility. But we've lost the ability to bend our knees fully and load our quads with the knees in front of the toes, stretching the feet and the ankles. And to be honest, this is much more functional in the way that if an athlete is ever caught with their heels down, it means they're too slow and they're too late. We need to be able to push through our toes. I try to do at least one set of Hindu squats every day. Okay, we're done. Nice work today. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. All right, later.